Hello there. For this particular module, we are asked to build an e-commerce site while promoting service learning. Service learning is a concept where you are actually contributing to your community by creating something that they can use. So in our case, that will be our definition of service learning. But in reality, service learning can be like an immersion where you get to be part of the community and then eventually help them while you are also learning with regards to the academics in line with that service learning. So for our purpose, we are supposed to be creating an e-commerce site for promoting a particular town or place that we are probably part of, if ever at least have lived there. At this module, notice that we are giving importance to what we call e-commerce, and on the side, service learning. If you would look at the requirement for module 4, you have day 18, which discusses about the basics of e-commerce, then day 19, which will be your project update number 1, and day 20, which is your project update number 2, day 21, project update number 3, and then finally your project submission, which includes a video. So let's try to run down on each of the following. Take a closer look at day 18. So for day 18, the CPA is actually for you to watch the instructional videos, which will be our lecture for the day. So it explains what e-commerce is and the different types of e-commerce that are available or categorized. For example, business to consumer, business to business, consumer to consumer, consumer to business, and business to government. Now, the project that you're about to create is actually a consumer to consumer, where you are promoting not just the town but everything in it, including products, services, and points of destination and festivals. Now, for the third video, this is about the story of Paul, who actually guides the viewers from his start as a brick and mortar shop, meaning an actual physical store, and towards becoming an online success. Video number 4 is all about the history of e-commerce, which is basically a pretty recent history, and you would see that this particular development is exponentially growing with the advent of additional technology infused in particularly in the cloud and the internet. So this is the attendance for today, and part of the activity that you will be required to do for today is to form your original group, which includes the members that you have for the first day that you were organized. That's day 1. If you still have those members, I would suggest you try to continue on with the activity. If not, then you have to regroup and form a new group or a new team. Just make sure that you update the necessary links. So for the activity for day 1, for day 18, team activity 1, you need to just collaborate with your team to be able to come up with a proposal. So you need to have like a project concept, okay, that would give details, okay, on what you want to do for the rest of the term. That includes a slide that would introduce your teammates, as well as the particular scope that you'll be in. Like, are you focusing on a town, municipality, city, province, okay? And if so, then you also have to identify the following. So what are the products being manufactured, created, or sold or promoted to that from that particular part of your area or town or municipality. Then the services that are available to tourists, to guests. So probably that would include helping them discover your town, meaning tour packages, allowing them to stay on a particular place. That means accommodation, where to eat, okay, food, and etc. Exciting destinations as well, okay, that they can discover. So make sure that if it's a new town or it's an unpopular town, that will be a great opportunity for you to discover more if you know the place by yourself. Okay, and then if you have festivals for the town, or if not, then probably big events that are being sponsored or held within that particular town, like surfing or races or anything, okay, that would be of interest to visitors, then you may want to probably promote that as well in your site. The thing is that you need to find your materials original at that, okay, and include them in the future updates. So I would suggest that you start building up on your assets, original assets. Please take note that plagiarism is not supposed to happen. Then another thing that you also need to decide as a team is to identify the online website builder that you will use. So definitely you were not asked to create the project from scratch. You can use templates or modify a blank website or e-commerce site to accommodate whatever content you have, including the navigation. So as example, you have the following free website builders, and top of the list would be Wix. So I, for one, am a Wix user with this particular rating, and take note that you need to be familiar with all these factors, because at some point you may want to decide, okay, which one is better based on a specific criteria. So obviously Wix is free for design and development, but if you're going to put it live, particularly if you're collecting money in the shopping cart, then you need to subscribe to the paid services. Included with that is obviously types of payments, and that Wix would give you a better option, okay, in case you're paying for with credit cards or any other non-cash transactions. So for this particular activity for day 18, I've also asked you to list down, okay, the essential things that your e-commerce will have. And basically this is a link to the website or a blog site that gives you an idea of what should be in an e-commerce site to make it better. So for example, you must have a clear logo. That's why one of the next activity is all about creating your own logo, and then be able to deal freebies and free shippings, and also be able to complete the e-commerce site, okay, with any of the following, okay, or if not all of the following ideas. So please bear in mind that there's a research requirement for you to improve the way you present your e-commerce site. So it's not just following templates, okay. So these are just examples. So store finders and all the way to trust marks. So bottom line is, your day 18 activity is actually about preparing what you will be doing for the rest of the term. Now, there are some examples that I have posted so in YouTube, made by previous students. So if you want to learn more about, let's say for example, some of the outputs done, obviously you need to filter some of this, because some of them are my personal uploads. So for example, if you wanted to see something in Ilocos, so this is a nice one. Okay, so this is an example of a video created, okay, to demonstrate or promote the website, okay, called Tan Ok ni Ilocos Norte. So the video actually contains several parts, and this video is actually a final project requirement. So it will capture everything that you've placed in your e-commerce site, from navigation to products to services, okay, to payments, okay. And so basically this is what you're going to do, okay, soon before the term ends. Now also with that, okay, are a bunch of other options, other outputs, okay, made by other students. So that's basically the activity for day 18. Now, just to make sure that everything is in order, module 4 will also require you to submit updates. So for day 19, the CPA actually is more about a topic, okay, on how to create your own logo. Okay, so I'll be open on the time specified. The project for day 19 is an update. So this is your first official update, and it will contain contents from your discussion last meeting that would include the selection of your website builder, the templates that you will be using, and the creation of your homepage, at least your homepage, to show that you've already used that website builder. So these are the activities that you need to do: evaluate, plan, evaluate, plan, and create, okay, the necessary items. So also remember that eventually you need to turn over the entire project to an LGU. So I would suggest that you all manage the entire site through an email account, okay, that is generic or specifically created for that particular purpose, for that particular e-commerce site, so that when you turn it over to them, your personal details will not be included. In day 20, we'll be talking about e-commerce update number 2, but before that, okay, we need to be able to also discuss about intellectual property rights. So for the class participation and attendance, it will be all about knowing your IP rights from ipofil.gov. So for the day 20 activity, what you will be submitting would be your online shopping cart, which means that Wix has that feature, but at this point you can only probably populate it with products and details, but you cannot really put it online, as in making others buy from that particular shopping cart. So day 21 we'll be talking about the state of e-commerce, okay, particularly in the Philippines. That is through the CPA, but with the project requirement, you will be doing update number 3, which is now your completed e-commerce site with policies and procedures. So you'll need to do the following requirements and update your Wix or other builders to contain the following features. So that is completing your e-commerce site to include policies and procedures. Okay, so these are the things that you need to put there. And then finally, for the last requirement, for the final project, the requirement would be a video. Similar to the previous video on Ilocos Norte, you are required to create a video from anywhere within 5 to 10 minutes that is an all-in-one welcome tutorial and promotional video about your site. So basically, you can use a screencast recorder like Screencast-O-Matic and be able to record while showing the e-commerce site that you have created. So basically, that is the final project, and with that, okay, you also have an extra credit, which is basically creating a promotional tarp for exhibition purposes. So I'm hoping that you'll be able to complete the project and do a great job and promote your own towns. Thank you very much.